Most of us go through life running scared. Fear is the most subtle and destructive of all human diseases. Fear kills dreams. Fear kills hope. Fear put people in the hospital. Fear can age you. Fear, ladies and gentlemen, can hold you back from doing something that you know within yourself that you're capable of doing, but it will paralyze you. And I ask you a question, what is the benefit? What's the benefit of allowing fear to hold you back, of giving up on yourself, of not stepping out on life and taking life on? What is the benefit for you? What's the plus in that? It's one of the things I had to ask myself. So I didn't want to make any mistakes. I wanted everybody to like me. I wanted to be perfect the first time I did something. It's not going to happen. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to hurt some folks' feelings. You're going to create some enemies. Whenever you decide that you want to begin to take life on, you've got to ask yourself, how long am I going to allow this to hold me back? Haven't you been afraid to do something and then after you did it, you say, whoa, if I known it was this easy, I would have done it before. Haven't you ever had that experience? Absolutely. So we created this in our minds, false evidence appearing real. We made it real in our minds. Fear ain't real. That's why Churchill said there's nothing to fear but fear itself. That's the destructive monster.
When you have fear, fear makes you count. When you have fear, fear makes you think in ways you shouldn't be thinking. When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many kids. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen. Fear, you are not gonna stop me. I've come too far to give up now. You got fear and you got faith. And I've decided not to walk in fear, but to walk in faith.
Turn off things that can contribute to your fear. Turn a deaf ear to people that all they can do is talk about how negative things are because they have bought into the consciousness of the world. Start attending workshops, seminars, listening to tapes on a daily basis to begin to recondition your mind, to retrain your thinking. Faith comes by what? Hearing and hearing and hearing. Listen to things that can empower you, that can enable you to create a new reality for yourself, in a new life for yourself. Most people won't do that. Most people won't take that kind of effort and invest that kind of energy in themselves because they will fall prey to that conversation within. Oh, don't do that. You don't have time. You're too busy. You're too caught up in the rat race. Most people won't do that. They won't take time to go to lectures. They won't take time to go to seminars. They won't take time to go to classes to improve themselves. And as you continue to work on yourself, you will begin to expand your vision of yourself. You'll begin to work towards self-mastery. When you go through these steps, you might appear to be strange around most people. You ignore all those voices and you prioritize you, taking care of you, focusing on you.
You got to focus on your strengths.
You want to make your dream come true, you got to stay focused. Some people rather get even than get ahead. Stay focused on where you want to go.
When you're hungry to win, you spend your time and your energy being a warrior, not a worrier. No, you don't spend time worrying because you want to get in a fight mode.
There's gonna be a fight if you would be willing to fight your way through it. If you would be willing to fight your way through this battle, fight your way through cancer, fight your way through that academic struggle, fight your way through divorce, fight your way through it. If you are willing to fight your way through that singing career, fight your way through boxing, fight your way through football, and if you're willing to put up the fight, I'm telling you at the end of the fight is going to come victory.
Go into action with your dream and don't avoid where the fights are. Get in the midst of the fight. Get knocked down so you can learn how to fight so you can hold your position. See, most people don't get out in the arena of life because they don't want to fight. Most people don't get out there because they don't want to get knocked down. They don't want to be dropped to their knees. But see, you're going to be dropped whether you're on the field or whether or not you're sitting on the sidelines. You're going to be dropped. So at least get